if you live aligned to the group personality, there's a great safety in that for so many reasons. You know, you belong, there's a feeling of belonging. We're all the same, we're all in this together. And based on the fact that we all believe that we are this thing, this personality, that's the kind of root of it. So if or when that gets eroded or broken, a whole different kind of universe opens up outside of that. And it's sort of I've heard some people call it like the chaos level. There's just sort of different stages you go through, but there's a potential chaos level because everything you took to be real, including you, is has gone, or started to go at least. And big questions come up, like in the personality, there's purpose. You kind of know who you are, and you've got, you know, some level of purpose, what you're heading towards, what you want to achieve, and all that. And in the chaos layer, you know, that's one of the things that can go, and that's like really confronting, you know, in so many ways. And so it struck me, I suddenly realized, like, that's what teachers are for, you know, their true function. When you first start kind of breaking out of the group personality's kind of mindset, which is basically, I am this personality, the sort of chaos level floods in, and you know, you're kind of, something's happened, and you're not like the group anymore. But A, you don't know what it is, maybe, and B, you don't know how to navigate it, you don't know how to live by it. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of all sorts of things come up. So it kind of struck me, that's like the true role in this human game of a teacher, someone who has, at least to some extent, kind of passed through that fire. You know, I'm not saying in any way completed, but, you know, to some extent, and knows the territory a bit. And if they're able to codify it, bring sort of a map, some sort of a kind of overview, that can be really helpful to someone in the chaos layer. So that's what I think my job is in this. And I guess that's what the function of my books were, to provide that map. I was thinking about, is it better to wake up? You know, can you say that? And because everything you face, you know, all the chaos, all the unknown, you enter this different world. And like I said, it's not all bliss by any means, because of that transition, because it's such a different viewpoint, such a different perspective. So, you know, in some ways you could argue, is it worth it? You know, if it's not true that you're in constant bliss, like the kind of idea of perfection gives you, you could ask that question, is it worth it? Is it actually better to stay in the dream? Because the dream offers a lot. It offers security, it offers, you know, purpose, all these things it offers. And I think the answer that I came up with was, you know, well, first of all, if you have the yearning in you, don't have a choice, really. I think there's a level where you have a choice. I think some people seem to have some leaning towards this, and they have some experiences, and then they kind of, something in them says this is too much, and they go back, and they kind of go back to the group. So I do think that's possible. But if the yearning is strong enough, then in the end, you don't have a choice. You know, you might even want to go back, but you can't, because you've gone too far. I'm definitely say that's what happened with me. Oh, yeah. And the breakdown. Don't walk on the keyboard. And you know, I didn't have the choice of going back. I wanted to. Not that I knew it was about waking up then. That was just about ending the suffering of the breakdown. But whatever had happened to me and the chaos that was flooding in, I wanted to go back. But I didn't have a choice, and it went on. And then this thing happened that I didn't even know. You know, I'd been around and studied and looked at, like all of you, books and the teachings for a long, long time. But when this thing happens, it's different. You're not reading about it from a distance. You're not thinking about it. You're not conceptualizing it. It's a different thing. And so I guess what I'm saying is, if you have the yearning and in the end you don't really have a choice, and then you have the chaos, and then you have your journey through and into the chaos, and then hopefully someone like me can kind of help you through that stage to a stage as it grounds in you, and you kind of acclimatizes a bit, and it doesn't take away the unknown or the mystery or anything like that, or give you massive answers, but something in you transmutes and changes, so you're becoming in alignment with what's happened. Okay, through the personality's idea of its purpose, your purpose, you kind of ground into your life and into the world. And it gives you kind of roots through that sense of purpose. So without that, you know, your roots of those kind are kind of suddenly not working for you. So you feel kind of literally uprooted and kind of cut off and disorientated. So what we're talking about is a rerouting, not into personality, not into the group personality, but into, well, what can we say? We could say a heart, we could say being, we could say consciousness, all those words. And it's intangible, and those words are amorphous and hard to pin down, but you know what I mean. It's the unseen, it's the mysterious that you root into. But even though you can't pin it down, you can't take a photograph of it, you can't lock it down with words, as you go on, it gets more and more tangible, and it's actually more real to you in the end than the other stuff.